There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We judge it for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the club. Following our people who willing to sell. Blessing our time and our efforts are rest. The brothers giving us here and the parents of them. The world with my life without fear.
I lyrical health.
Master.
Play body so make you I can't Sktv menu. Say my journey, Tina get I say my jamo. And you no money, and more I go. And you love
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandmother.
And I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I couldn't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I couldn't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I don't get it now ya to money. That's the TV, and I don't get it now. So she work on my ya to money. Yeah.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandmother.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the club. Following our people who willing to sell. The flesh, the time and the efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving the real and the premise my best. The world with my life without fear. From Grandfather, Nima to Lufa. From Riverside, River G to Chile. From Grand Crew, Bombing, Kidman, Monster Rider, San to Backbaloo. From Maryland, Bonk to Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.
Came from 18, yeah? Came from Grand. So route them. This is This is the arrival of Dante. Maryland County will see on stage of the National County Sportsman 2024. How many people will be 2024, 2025? They are in Liberia. This is Branchie around them. At the Samuel County Sports Complex. This is the football of the team. Quer me como SKD? So Nigeria, wherever you are, and our world, you follow the live podcast. This is arrival. County team and the Nigerians are out in the numbers. We share their voice in victory. This is the arrival of Nigeria County team. This is the arrival of John to the country team. John to the country team. Held so much. Really. This is the of Granty their team. They have the match. Also, the SKT Zen Park. Grantians are out, Marylanders are out as well. To share their this is it. The arrival of Granty their team. And this is outside the SKT. They have this crucial semi-final match. It's Granty the arrival of Granty. Right here, awesome. This is African Media. Please share the live podcast, shares and watch. And we'll have your name due for and keep following us as we bring you live this all important match between Maryland and Granty. It's Granty and Maryland County in the first semi-final match of the 2024-2025 National Campus Sports Meet. This is Granty team arriving right here. Hurricanes of the campus. Indian members escorting the team to the Summer Congo Sports Campus. They have that crucial match. Yeah. So we're interested to know Grantians are out in their members. Grantian, Marylanders.
So we just decided to bring in some of the highlights. We will do that as we go along. Monk is also setting up behind the scene. But folks, please, let's share the show. Today is Wednesday. Indeed, sometimes we will come here, we'll not only start with politics, sometimes because there are people who also socially they are connected and they want to listen and follow some of the social advices, or better say, some of the things that we'll talk about that will bring some relief in their life, especially when it comes to some social interaction. Because, mind you, though, it's not easy. But Monk, I think Monk is ready. But the way I see Monk in the kind of dress code today, my brother, which one be this?
Bibo?
Yeah, I see you
You
today.
got me on camera.
Well, yeah, but I was there with it. But anyway, let me get you off. All right, well, that's good. Yeah, but my brother, I'm a bit surprised. But even though I'm seeing you in like maybe that you cool, but again, how be it? What's up, my brother? How everything with you?
Man, not much, man. We loving our weather. If Venezuela is going to behave like this every year, I think we'll be the best state in the country.
Oh, it's
It's not.
another lot of
Yeah,
monk.
we are in the coldest part of the year, and the weather is mild. It's not that cold. It's not that hot. Even though it's a little bit cooler, but we would take anything above 20.
Okay.
That's a blessing. Uh, and we will just take it, bro. You got to be appreciative every day. I told you this country is 50 countries,
Mm,
50 different countries operating as one, right?
I see, my
The
brother.
the state of Texas alone is bigger than Nigeria, right?
Mm,
Sudan, Sudan can take like maybe 4 West African countries in terms of, let's say California. California can cover up more than 4 African countries, and I'm not talking about states like Idaho or Montana, these big, big states. So there's a continent, almost like a continental kind of a piece of land. It's not just a country. So we got different part of the country, different natural disasters. Some people go through flooding, some people go through heat, some people got earthquakes, some people got hurricane. We would take the snow. The snow is a bad thing. It's cool, but at the end of the day, it's not. We don't
Yeah,
experience too
because
much of a natural disaster.
socially, I want to ask you this question as to how are you managing socially, because you always handle in readiness and you keep talking about you. In fact, you like the kind of conditions. How are you managing when other people are crying?
Gotta keep yourself warm. If there's no need to go out there, you don't need to be out there, and you gotta limit your movement. You gotta pick the spot that you go to. You gotta go to. You need to go places that are value. Like for example, if it's cold, why should I go out there if I have nothing to go out there for? Why should I go shopping on a day that is cold when I could sit home, maybe read books, watch soccer, entertain myself at home, keep yourself warm? Why would you want to be out there? So the more activity you engage into, then you will experience the cold. But if you can pick your spot and know exactly what you need to do before the 24 hours come to an end. Like for me, the one thing I would do maybe Monday through Friday to wake up at 5 a.m. and go to the gym. That's one I would do
Yeah,
every day, Monday through Friday. That's why when you call me in the morning, I like, Mabel, let me call you back because I gotta go and get the body ready for the day. That one, whether it's cool or not, it's just something that a big part of my daily routine that I must do. 5 a.m. I wake up 4:50 every day, Monday through Friday. I don't do it weekend. Maybe I will pick 1 or 2 weekend days, but mostly Monday through Friday go run. For me, I don't go lift weight. I just go run. I'm mostly
Oh yes.
interested in my hand and muscle.
No, more for me. I think I like that other maybe exercise because running I think also help though. It help even the mental health and so on. Even the exercise, everything help though. But maybe the one you choose, well, I think for me for that one also allow all of your system, to freely interact, everything. But again, my brother, someone will say about maybe how monk is socially. You talk about social, you gotta be warm and so. Are you managing everything socially, or you are just drinking hot tea? How are you doing that, my brother?
I drink green tea. I don't drink regular coffee or tea. I drink green tea. Green tea is very good. Or maybe ginger tea. Get your blood flowing and clean your arteries. When it comes to
Okay.
cholesterol and stuff, green tea is very good. You need to be drinking green tea. I don't drink beer like that. Maybe once in a while if I go to some major occasion just to fit in. I won't say fit in, but just to be part of the social gathering, I would take a couple or two. Maybe a beer or bottle. And not even your regular hard liquor. Maybe just a beer like MGD or Corona. Maybe 1 or 2. That's the most. I don't do
Wow.
liquor or things like that.
Great. That's good. So people, you please share the show. Today is Wednesday. For matter of fact, we will talk some social issues today, at least to because more people been asking me about every time we are come out, sometimes we are taught these social issues. Sometimes some of us we learn and take some precaution, or sometimes we take some advice from you people. But every time you just started that without even talking some of the social issues. So I say, okay, no problem. More we
No, there
chip
are a
in.
lot of social issues. You got a counter meet. You got a Champions League. There will be lots of
Uh-huh.
games today. The moment I leave from here, I'm going to watch the Madrid. Maybe I will pick between the Madrid and the Man City game. That's 1 or 2 I will look at today. And the
Okay.
counter meet. For me, I like to watch the highlight. I don't go by the entire game for the counter meet. I only
Yeah,
want to see the
because
goals, some of the major events, and that's it. And a lot of social issue happening. Also. So you got a lot of things to look forward to. Make yourself happy.
yeah,
There's a
yeah.
difference
So for
between
the
happiness
content
and
meet,
pleasure. Go ahead.
quickly, let me just give you update. Then we transition. Maybe because most of the social thing that people let hear and men won't be. So so let me just say that wait. But again, that's the thing. Most of the social things that some of you like to hear about. Oh, how this one happy, how this that's it. But again, when it comes to the football, you see that's why monk like you are saying. Sometimes people don't understand that we men we find happiness, they don't relieve. Because sometimes when they're stressed home, you find a way sometimes in some of the entertainment center, like sometimes somebody because now and then now there are no way video clubs used to be talk of the time or maybe places to go. But none of them people are going to the video entertainment, they will buy a little bottle of soft drink and so forth, and you watch the game. But sometimes people just see everything like By the time you want to go out, like for example, someone says, just have it all. Hey, you're going to girlfriend play. Oh, you're not going to watch football game. Oh, this and that. They always having means to find ways how to make things be like you are not going to maybe or where you talk about. So I want you to also chip in on that. But before that, let me just give you a few updates about the county meet. So Grand Crook County on today also beat Bond County, and that is the keyboard team. So Grand Crook County keyboard team also into the final, and for a matter of fact, I think on tomorrow they'll be waiting for the county team that will, the keyboard county team tomorrow that will qualify from there. Then they will play the final. And on today also when it comes to the male team, Grand Jade and that of Maryland, the two Eastern teams on today, they have their own playoff, and the best team walk away today with the 3 points or with the victory enter into the final, which is Grand Jade County. So far so good. These are some of the sporting news, some of the news coming from our social sporting world, I would say. But more without thing, maybe the question I was about to ask you about sometimes some of our ladies refusing to or maybe give us access to go and watch football game.
Yeah, I mean the football thing, football is a unifying sport all around the world. I just posted an article like an hour ago, less than an hour ago about Neymar. And I told you back in the day when we talked about the Labrador Lone Star, whether it was Rebel Town, whether it was the water, and that's the one thing that will get everybody get up when it comes to the country unity. That's why I told you I'm believing the national team, then they counter me. They counter me in as much as it may seem entertaining on a national level. No, it's not the best for me because I believe that the national team and the domestic league, they are not benefiting from the counter me in terms of the structure. But people find it entertaining like every year, more like a tradition now that every year comes January, people look forward to the county meet where you can go and cheer your respective county. But that's a county meet. That's now a national team. The national team is why everybody come and support. Whether you're from Limbo Kill, whether you're from MPF, whether you're Market Woman, that's the national team. But in the case of the county meet, when you're from Granger, you only support Granger. That's the thing about it. So, but I posted another interesting article today on the social issue here about Neymar Jr., the Brazilian player. Yes. He was lucky. Neymar will be going back. That's why I tell people sometimes life is not about what you know or what you can do. Sometimes you just need to be in the right place at the right time. There were other great players that ended their career by injury. And Neymar happens to, they say, the article Helen say he robbed the bank. Because when you look at Neymar transfer fee, the money that they pay in comparison to the number of games that he played, he will be walking away with $554 million. Can you imagine that? And he only scored a single goal because he's been injured for more than a year. And he left with 18 months on his contract, but he decided to part way with the Saudis club. So Neymar today still holds the record for the world transfer record in football for 220 million euros. So until somebody can beat that record, he still remains the world's most expensive player. And if you're going to play a few games and walk away with that kind of money, maybe without doing anything, isn't that a blessing? Even though the club is going to count it as a loss. But for Neymar's career, I think he's done with football. It will just be for entertainment now. He's well off financially. And for me, he was one of the luckiest few. Thank God for him.
Yeah. So to just add up to you, myself, I think these are some of the ways the coaches, the players, and so forth, sometimes they make money, especially the coaches, like someone would say, Jose Mourinho. I think Jose Mourinho has been sacked even now 4, 5, or 6 times. And all of the time, sometimes you will sign a contract. After some time, the people were having off his contract and they're paying off. So, like you are saying, my brother, this thing, I think that's another way of making money for the players. But again, I think if I were, how do you call him, they talk about, not need for me to even waste my own time. I think I will just forget about football now and focus about. But again, how are you going to manage the money? That's another thing, because mind you, though, Pep Guardiola is also going through another serious embarrassment. That's going to cost him almost even now 50%, 30%.
70%.
Is it 70?
70%.
In
terms of his estate wealth. Can you imagine? And he's the highest paid, I think the second highest paid player. If I'm not mistaken,
he's the second highest,
Atletico Madrid, Simone is the highest paid coach in the world. I think then next to him is Guardiola. So if she's going to get 70% in terms of a estate, then she robbed the bank also. Maybe because looking at how much he own and how much he's getting paid, I don't know if the judge will put it into the future, like some divorce settlement, but whether she will get future royalties or not, the fact of the matter is she walking away with her bag. That just why it is, including properties and everything, man. She caught it big time like Bremen say.
Yeah, and more before we go, what's your own take on that? Let's be frank. Sometimes some of these things people see it like, oh, the men, like for example, even what happening right now with Two Face in Diva and so forth. People are saying people, in fact, people are shifting blame. But I read a lot of articles, even including what he said. In fact, according to Two Face, he said that in fact, even Honor Kene, I think he was having some kind of issues. I think for 5 years, and his wife was not with him. She was always, on the occasions having her own time and so on. But at the end of the day, Mark, these people they want to share all of your high-end money, all of your high-end resources with you 100%. How? What? It's just another way of people maybe getting rich at the detriment of people because our colleague Steve will always say they're not going to call love into marriage. People will just maybe get into these things. They have got a business. So what's going to take more? Because all these things
Yep.
are also
Oh
affecting
yeah.
men and
Yep.
if care is not taken, the younger one
Hmm.
who are coming out also, men will be afraid and say, no, for me, I think it's better that even whether I'm married or not, I will say I have children, I will still maybe enjoy my life. So no need.
Maybe the most I can tell you when you're getting married, just pray to God to find someone who will come and compliment you in terms of life. Because you don't have a X-ray machine to read people heart or to read into their mind as to what they plan to do to you in the future. But equally also there are some signs that you will see. So don't get carried away by the thing they call the emotion they call love. Because you gotta know who you are marrying and what their mission is in your life. Especially when you're already well off financially. That's when you gotta become extra careful. Because let me tell you something, Mabel. The vast majority of the time, it's just part of human nature that we are manipulative, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you are a rich person,
Mm.
8 out of every 10 female that will approach you coming for your money. That's the reality, whether you like it or not. You heard what I just said? If
Mm-hmm.
you are well off financially, if you got
Mm-hmm.
status in terms of social status, because
Mm-hmm.
that's just how the business is. People target people who will make their life much easier, and that's common to women. I'm not trying to be hard on women here, but women are programmers in nature. They are looking for people that are richer than them, people that are educated than them, people that are good looking than them, people that got social status. That's just how they operate. So if you're already aware of, know that 8 out of every 10 female that will come in your life, they are coming for their money. I'm not saying there are not good ones out there, but there are very few. So that's why they got prenuptial agreement. You can sign up with a lawyer. You know what to protect in terms of your assets, whether it's for your children, whether you want to give to charity. They got paperwork you can do. You can protect yourself. You can insulate yourself from these, how they call themselves, gold diggers. You saw in the
Mm-hmm.
case of Hakimi, right? She
Mm-hmm.
thought she had
Yes.
a game figured out. And guess what happened? Hakimi was thinking ahead. He protected himself. That's what happened. So if you don't see these signs, and they will show you some signs, but the problem is when you're in love and you are so into the female or the woman, it go both ways either. You don't see these little signs that are there, and at the end of the day, you become a victim. So I would just tell anybody out there, know who you are getting married to. Look for a woman that will compliment you. I'm not saying that every single one of them are bad out there, but just know that the good ones, they are very few in number. That
Mm-hmm.
get the reality. People don't like to speak the truth. They want to sugarcoat things because they want to sound okay or right. The fact of the matter is that just what life is all about. When you are well off and you are positioned in a better state in terms of financially, socially, people want to leverage your blessing. That's just why it is. Even your own
So
family
so
member.
yeah, so more quickly because I see my sister, even Felicia, I see a lot of them, they're already commenting
Yeah.
with that statement that you
Prenups.
just use that oh yes, you gotta go sign the other document and so on. But
Yeah.
mom, with that kind of more statement, with that kind of more feeling coming from some of them, like for example, oh, I suffer with you. Look, mom, let me friend and let me real, right? Like for example, the woman was home and I'm at work. Let me just use the way, right? I can't hustle. All the men I can't hustle, right? She lay down. she eat, she sleep, she watch movie, and so on more. So how can she and myself will share the high-end money that I work for? That even sometimes my bosses they get even at my throat. That she and myself will share 50-50 more. For what reason?
Well, that's a system. That's how you live in Western society, most especially when it comes to marriages and all these things, the wedding. Maybe when you look at a modern day wedding, where you think that model came from? It came from Europe. That's a European style, right? When people traditionally were getting married in Africa or in other cultures, right? They were not looking at the whole thing about material wealth. Once you are capable of taking care of the family, they say, "Oh, you are a man. I can." Certain time in our culture too, when you got big farm, when you can take care of the women, you can marry up to two or three wives traditionally. But when the European came up with a system that got to benefit the women, most especially the women and children. Like I said, every law that is written in the Western world,
Mhm.
it does not favor men. They are geared mostly towards children first and then women second. So if you are going to court against a female, more than likely the case might not go your way. Even when it comes to taking care of your own child, your own children, the laws were written to protect them. They are giving preference over you. So it's not only about what happened, they are looking at who is involved. So for men, how often do you hear female complaining that they got raped off in court because of a judge decision? The only point is he crying at men, right? I don't have to tell you that. You can
Yeah,
see it
that's
every
right.
day.
Look, look, my sister Felicia, look, Felicia, to be trusted. Look, I don't agree with you, sister Felicia, on this one. Mom,
Ah,
can you
yes.
imagine
Yeah.
our sister is saying that, oh, so
Mm.
taking care of the home and kids doesn't come to you. No, 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 it's not what I'm saying. Look, let's be real. Sometimes, even there are some men,
Mm.
they will say, okay, since that is the case and so on, I will also help you, at least so that this job can be done. But you people say have issues. So that go back to Agape Kadwala, who in fact you work hard, nothing. According to the information the man woman said, or the wife, or the quote unquote divorce wife, now she's saying that because the man work too much. Can you imagine no more? They say because the man
Mabon,
work too much.
Mabon, let me tell you
Yeah.
something. It has something to do with a generation. And every time I count this, I say two things that are causing problem for relationship today is the materialistic war and the issue of social media also, right? Look at the case. Let me just give you the most recent one. Whether it was
Mm.
Kaka, whether it was Pep Guardiola,
Mhm.
whether it was Hakimi. Hakimi, you could tell that she was a gold digger because she already set in place her motion what she was going to do to get after his money. The only difference is he protected his cash before he inserted a big contract with PSG, right? In the
Mhm.
case of
Yeah.
Kaka, Kaka almost said
Mm.
she divorced him because he's too perfect. He doesn't have
Can you
tattoo. He
imagine?
doesn't go to club. He left is boring. Can you imagine a guy like Kaka? Cool looking dude. You know, I can remember when Kaka came from Brazil when he landed on AC Milan Prada ground and went to picking up the AC Milan coach and that coach in Real Madrid, they called Carlo Ancelotti. He said when I saw Kaka, I thought he came from college campus because he came with a ball bag and with clear glasses on his face. So I thought he was some nerd because he never looked appeared like a football player, but then he surprised me when he got on the soccer field. In the case of Guardiola, she said Guardiola put all his life to football. Okay, the question you will ask her, if Guardiola is getting paid for being one of the best in the business, millions of dollars among his colleagues, as being one of the highest paid, what do you think he need to do to get the money that you are enjoying if he's not going to concentrate on football? Can you imagine that kind of excuse? So that's
This is
another
really
gold
funny.
digger. Mabel, the reality is we live in a different generation. People that were
Look,
getting
my
married
brother,
back in the days.
look, Mark, you know what I was saying, my brother, before transition? I think if our women when they not put maybe their hearts together, let me just say it that way. When you're not recalibrate, when you're not go for break, think and come back. Look, I think maybe you will gradually be fulfilling. Maybe in a way, maybe the book of Ezra, because Mark on the very serious note, my brother, because similar comment even coming from someone say they look says you want to say you know he found a woman who loves him and accepted all of his cheating. Look, amen. Hey God. So they may saying that he was sick for 5 good years, going through his kidney problem. His wife abandoned him. She was all around on movie business. All around. Oh, so that want to nothing. No more. I think nothing because like they were one other woman. They don't want to even admit. They don't care about us. And and they are the one that also bring in they both male and female. How can now they even want by the time the men grow now, then they turn against the man, Monk?
It will get worse moving to the future. Just expect that. And Brace yourself for the worst case scenario. Look, every generation things change. Most of the time, like if you go back to people, if you have a conversation with people like in the 80s or the early 90s or 70s, those older generation, they were marrying for a whole different reason. They wanted some kind of a protection and security, right? They are home, they're children, the men should take care. They plan on staying with their husband to the end of life. That was their intent. They wanted to be protected. They wanted someone to call their husband. They were willing to put in the effort to build up some men. You know, they got a bunch of men too that became who they are today because they are women, right? They were good women. This particular generation, I am telling you, and it will get worse even 10, 15 years from now.
Oh, yes.
Just get ready for the worst case scenario because you are living in a whole different generation. This particular generation now is about getting money, showing up and on social media, keeping up with the Joneses, materialistic. They believe that they got options because for the first time in human history, 20 guys can hit you up in your inbox. You don't need to be
Oh, yes.
closer to them from all over the world. So with all the options available, so expect the worst to happen. No, let me tell you, my brother, just pray for the best. Because like I said, there is no manual out there that would tell you say this one is good or this one is bad. But they will show you some signs, and I would say just be careful out there and know exactly who you will call your wife. That's all I can say. Yep.
Well, my brother, thank you. So, to all of you who just joined us, thank you. This is the SKTV show, and half past the hour now on the show. Yeah, we've been talking about some social issues, and I know that this. Let me tell you, how strong you think you can be, or how strong you think you are, or so forth. At the end of the day, when it comes to social issue, it will kill all of your energies. It will weigh you down. It will even bring frustration to your life. In fact, you can't even make life perfect without social issues. So sometimes you see people committing suicide, you see people doing so many things to themselves just because of social interactions. So this thing I just want to say, everyone is there. Maybe when we come here, we'll bring this in. But Mark, let's move now to our topic. The president already in country, and on what's that? On Monday, yes, indeed, Monday, left for Tanzania for the I think for the Africans summit, right? For the so
That video was circulating. I saw the video what you're talking about, and just before you can put in the screen, and I saw that video. It was more than embarrassing. The same thing we discussed about the State of the Union, how people forget the reality. They just go and post sentences or paragraph on paper and think that they can bamboozle the rest of us because they think that we are dumb, that too many people are not paying attention. But the question is, you cannot do it all the time because it will catch up to you. And that's what happened with the president on live camera, unprepared, no vision, no idea, doesn't have a single clue as to why they were even asking. No, let me tell you something. Whether you are for Joseph Boaga or not, the fact of the matter is Joseph Boaga has passed his prime. Labro is not going to benefit anything from Joseph Boaga. Yet he will get one or two projects here and there going, but in terms of policy, I'm not placing a bet on Joseph Boaga. I'm not saying he's a bad leader, but from what we have seen and his capability or his ability at the moment, I don't expect anything better. And that video is a testament to that. It just tells you that the whole arrest agenda, it gets a scam and a lie. They are only on paper. It gets the proper agenda. All this, look, remember, to execute, to take action, to get result is a very tough thing. It takes a genius. But play the video before we react to the video.
Yeah.
Play the video first. Let people listen.
Yeah, wait. Yeah, Mark, wait. Let me play the video quickly from there. So that our topic for today, folks, to those of you who just joining us, this is our topic for today. The president in
this panel, but certainly not the least, His Excellency Mr. Joseph Nyuma Boakai, Senior President of the Republic of Liberia. We've talked about numbers in terms of access, and for Liberia, it is 32% of the population that has access to electricity. Again, the vast majority of them being in the capital city of Monrovia, and very little in the rural areas. And with regards to clean cooking, we're talking about 1%. But your government does have huge ambitions of reversing that. What are the major pillars of your national compact? And what innovative financing and investment models are you looking at to reverse this trend and put your country on a forward trajectory? Your Excellency, over to you.
Let me thank my sister, the President Dr. Smith, Yusuf Hassan, for inviting us to come here. I think it's also an opportunity because the last time I was over here was about 30 years ago, and I don't see any other thing that would have brought me here easily. I want to thank you for this opportunity, and I want to also quickly thank you for what I saw here today. Your rewarding innovation, people who are doing small things. It's not just encouraging them, it's also making the younger ones aware that energy is important. We are honored to be here today, and we want to thank you for all that you've done to make us comfortable. Achieving universal energy access is essential. It drives prosperity, inclusion, and sustainable recognition. We in Liberia, and I want to thank my friend and brother, Edison, for also working with partners like the World Bank, the Rockefeller Foundation, and also all of those who are contributing to helping us bring solution to our energy problem. I think also it's also a good management in terms of the African Development Bank taking that board to make itself available to be able to work with partners. We are excited to be here today, to be among those that have been considered.
So, Mark, because of time, we got to save time, and we have two videos. This is the first video of the president speaking based on the question that were asked. Mark, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Mark.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm here. I'm
wonderful.
paying attention.
Okay, so that video number one from the program that was held in Tanzania, and I think maybe you want to respond quickly before we go to video two. That was the first video based on the question that were asked by the panelists or maybe the host.
No, play the second video too. I just put it in one. I mean into one, and I know we'll be going for we just 37 minutes past the hour, so I think we got more time. Because at a certain point in time, one of the panelists, I think she was so disappointed, like she literally wanted to cut the president off. But she
Yes,
pretended
that's
that
the
she wanted to
video.
ask a question, but she was just saying technically, you know what, we don't have time for this nonsense. Just cut it off. Let us move to something better. That's exactly what she intended to say, but she did it in a professional manner. But you can play the video, and then we'll respond later when you're done with this. Yeah.
Yes. So let me see the video quickly as we move on. Yeah, I think this is the video now. Okay, good. Oh, good. Well. First, so did you listen to your president? Though your president in fact, he was in Tanzania to represent Liberia, and this is the video.
Renewable energy solutions.
Mr. President, I'm truly sorry. I would just like to remind you that we have to conclude, unfortunately, because we are running out of time. Sorry about that.
That's all this is about.
Well, Mark, I think that's it. We have to conclude. We are running out of time.
Yeah.
Like,
I love the president response. That's what they did advantage of being the last. I think they made the last because they knew what was coming.
Right? My brother go ahead, Chief. If you finish,
it's just a sad situation for the country. That's why we are 176, 77 years old now, and we still back on. people will see these things. They knew what they were voting for. They forgot the country's interest. Let me tell you something, Mabel. You know the reason why people like are calling a cartel. There are certain group of people in the society, right? They don't have the power to win or to be elected public officials. But they study and look at certain people that they can leverage because most of the time they think that people will vote on popularity, especially in Africa,
Yeah,
on tribal
Monk
lands.
is
So
everything.
yeah, they will target those people and then so they can run the show from behind the scene. Because
Yes.
just tell you that Joseph Baga is only president in name only. Joseph Baga doesn't understand. Look at the question the man asking. The man said, "What are your national what are your national compact?"
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "Okay." He further on what the guy did. The guy said the perfect platform for the question. He gave some statistics and some fact. First thing he said, only 32% of your population have access to electricity.
Yeah.
And not even technically what he said was not even 32% because in your country, more people are concentrated in the capital city. So in terms of the number, that 32%, but in terms of the geographical location, like in other rural parts of the country, they have no access to electricity. Then he
Mm-hmm.
said clean cooking is only 1% in the country, right? And
Mm-hmm.
he said,
Yeah.
looking at your agenda, that's a huge agenda, but then tell me what are the major pillars, the
Cool.
innovative financing and investment model
Mm.
through the old man up. He doesn't understand anything about that. So all the things you see in the State of the Union address, the president addressing the nation, all these fancy words, Joseph Parker doesn't understand those things. He had no idea. And that's exactly what you saw on the war stage with everybody around the world watching. In any serious country now, our lawmakers will be having an emergency session to get
Yes.
Joseph Parker to
Someone,
either turn over power or to impeach him.
where our comment, I want to ask a few questions
Yeah.
as to are we now heading to another transition? If not, are we heading to maybe a new leadership? Because man, like you are saying, this question go back to what you were saying as to our lawmakers. Are they sleeping or are they still awake? Because with all of the happenings and they are seeing all of this thing going back to back. And even this morning, I listened to some Liberians on all of on network. They were asking, or in fact, they were also saying that if this president maybe in this 2025 peacefully or with strength, then I mean is indeed strong. But from all indications, they are assuming that this president may not continue with his leadership because he lacks the strength. There's no strength anymore in him. There's no energy anymore in him. Are you also buying to that idea, Monk?
Maybe the vice president might as well start getting ready. I'm not wishing anything bad on this president. I want this president to live for the longest, if possible. Let him enjoy his time on this planet. Because the thing about death, it has nothing to do with age. We can only assume that young people will live far better or longer because of their health situation, right? In terms of their well-being. That just life expectancy. So at the end of the day, we all go through this cycle. We'll be born, we will crawl, we'll walk, we will be young people, we will get to middle age, we'll get old and die. That's just a natural cycle. Man thing here is when you know these things, then you cannot put people in critical and strategic position. Because even if you get the idea, maybe want to wake up from bed every morning is also something is an effort. You talking about running a complicated bureaucracy with lots of ministry, agency, state-owned enterprises. You think Joseph Braga have the energy to do that job? No. But like I said, the cartel is everywhere and all over the world. Even in this great country, we saw it happening here. That you look at a guy that cannot put a coherent statement together, that failed to show up for cognitive or testing. But guess what? Because they know when they put these kind of people in power, they will be the one to run the show from behind the scene. That way, they are the one actually with the power indirectly. And it's not only limited to Liberia. Look at what happened in Nigeria with Tinubu. Does Tinubu look like someone that can run a country also? But guess what? He was the one that won an election. That's just how the system is. People that are close to power know they don't want to let power to go. They will do anything and everything just to make sure they maintain power directly or indirectly. So when you bring a guy who is effective, a guy who knows exactly what he's doing, no, they don't want that. They will put everything in place to get rid of that individual. They want people like Joseph Boaga. They want people like a Joshua. They want people like a Samuel Doe that you can manipulate. That will not be there mentally. No, because that way they still maintain their power. Do you think they want a Simon Fremont or Tewan Gonglo or Cummings being president? Because the cartel know when these guys are in power, they will not be the one to run the show. These people will be the one to run the show. But if a Joseph Boakai is in power, then the Prince Moe, the Nyomli Kanga, the Delon of the world, the people that are in the executive branch, they will be the one giving a blank slate to run the country. That's how the system is set up.
So more
So they could care less.
Yes. So
Yeah.
for your question, with the witness, Joe Barney also stepping aside due to age factors and maybe other situations. So because of that, he had to give way. Because look, let's some of what we said among during the election time that no matter what the situation is, then for me, I haven't seen even during the days of old where a young man within power over or maybe a mantle of authority over to an older man. We haven't seen that, but again, Liberians say no. In fact, even Nigeria, they also say no. That's what we want. But when I go back to U.S., because of all of these factors, U.S. The citizens and that of the Republican, the Democrat, rather, sorry, the Democrat otherwise say no. I think we had to change Joe Biden because Joe Biden now is not really delivering the way we want to, and that was just 4 years. But ours is 6 years, and we just enter the second year, and everything look the way things going. You're not even understanding anything. The people on the other side are saying different thing, and your president is saying different thing. Where are we heading, my brother?
Well, that's just how like I said, that's why the system is. The people who run the show, they want to maintain power. They will never give up power. They know who's in the best interest of the country. They know who can deliver. Let me tell you something. When it comes to election, especially in our country, right? Don't think that those people don't know exactly what they are doing. They know exactly what they are doing. And they understand the voters. That's why people like Joseph Boakai and George Rihanna, they always rank number one and number two. Because even the voter themselves, in most instances, they are not interested in the country making progress. Before talking about the politician understand the dynamic. They know exactly what to do. They know who they are dealing with. Do you think if Delon, let me give you a typical example. If Delon or normally Kanga had a business or private enterprise and they were looking for an effective CEO, you think they can hire Joseph Boakai?
No.
It would never happen in 1,000 years. But Delon believe that Joseph Boakai become president for a country, which is almost like a CEO for a company. You think because he's interested in his performance? No, he's interested in having leverage when it comes to power. That the people that work with the president can make decisions on his behalf. So he will just be there in name only. That's why I say it's not restricted to Liberia, happening all over the world. That's why they would take bunch of puppets and put them in power so that the cartel can run the operation from behind the scene. That's why Joseph Boakai got embarrassed. So it just tell you, there's a man who tell you have an arrest agenda, right? Agriculture, tourism, rule of law. They asking a simple, basic question on electricity. He can't even understand the question, the nature of the question. To even talk, look, having an idea is one thing, but just to even deliver on the idea by talking. The old man, look, I have nothing personal against this president. I think he's one of the elder statesmen in that country. It's just that when it comes to the presidency, even before the election, I said Joseph Boakai cannot even be an option for a guy like me. He cannot. Because that's just the reality. Life is all about facing reality and confronting the truth. He cannot. Whether he spent 6 years there, whether he spent 12 years, it doesn't change the narrative. Joseph Boakai is not capable of running a country. And you're seeing it. Look at the response he gave. Oh, energy is universal. We partnering with war. You know, like Broken Island, we don't want to get a World Bank and everything at World Bank. Even when it comes to building website. Yeah, that World Bank and IMF. Yeah. You know, we got 46% of ECOWAS forest. My brother, forest and electricity. How do you put the two together? But you know, there are some people
let's go back to the stress. Maybe with the family members or the close or maybe relative and so forth, would they be willing to maybe call this cartel that you're talking about to say, okay, my people, I think our father, our dad, our uncle, I think it's stressful, and because it is indeed embarrassing to us as family members to see that whenever he goes to places, he's not truly representing Liberia just because of strength, because he's saying different thing, and the people out there are also saying different. Let me tell you, it's shameful, Mom. Before I even get back to you, it is shameful indeed for you to be on a program. You have the headphone in your ear. For example, what I'm doing right now, then somebody come in and tell you that Oh no. We are sorry. They are not only telling you about one of the time. You know, sometimes when things happen, you look at some of the things that happen right there. They're not only telling you only about the time, but they're also telling you about contradictions. Yes.
That's why she decided to cut the president off.
Good.
That's why she did it that way. Like, while you are talking, it doesn't make sense. It's almost like what we saw in the great U.S. You know, sometimes I let us stay away from the U.S. politics because they got a lot of folks that are being their feelings.
Yeah,
when you talk about it, it'll be like, oh, you chum me. I said, look, they got something called cognitive decline. Can you imagine in this great country that become a constitutional requirement that our president should pass a cognitive and a physical test? Joe Biden never attended one because they understood that if he had attended one, he was never going to pass it. But guess what they did? They used it to bring a 25th Amendment with the contemplation of impeaching the previous president before him, that he should subject himself to a cognitive test. And he went and did it not even one, but 3 times. That's how, like I said, that's how the system is. They know it because they know when certain leaders are in power, they are the ones running the show. So they know that Bwaka is not going to deliver. They know he puts a risk. I'm not saying it's not a risk in the bad way, but I'm talking about in terms of moving the country forward. He's not going to do it. But guess what? They will choose to keep him there because he's from the political party. It's not about the country. Even the rule of law or whosoever they call themselves, whether the majority or minority black. Like I said, in any serious minded country, they will give Joseph Boakai the next 72 hours and tell him that and put pressure on him for him to resign and turn the country over. But it will never happen in Liberia. You can kiss that goodbye.
One of our sisters just committed fiduciary is saying that the family they won't do it just because maybe they want to benefit from all of the natural resources. Again, that's the kind of country that we live in. Just because few group of people want to benefit, so the majority should suffer. No. Oh God. Let me be frank today on the radio, right? Mom, I was saying, even after you myself communicate, I said, well, if, like for example, if former president we are going to hold on to power, is it the kind of thing I'm going to go back maybe to that days for month? So sometimes there's some first that don't just necessary. Give it on just the people that know you're taking it for you. You know, more to admit. Because let me be frank, but let me just say this on this popular radio. During the 2023 election, especially when the NEC was announcing the result back to back, even during the time of the almost to the final results for me. Let me be frank. I call my madam and say, look, check in there. I will let you get. Don't tell that you. Just tell one that maybe I will be careful because when you carry there, because the tension was building more. Liberians was killing each other just because of politicians. We saw that in Lofa County. We saw that in Mosovalo County. Even we saw a terrible incident even in some other drive where the former president was even campaigning and that situation happened. So Monk, so these are kind of things that we're going to fight each other for?
Maybe, let me give you, I always say this stuff on the show, right? When you look at other countries, right, that are doing better than us, the reason why we are far behind too, I always keep telling you, like, if you look at the country for the past 40 years, every time Liberia had an opportunity to make progress, that's when she took steps backward. And it dated back to 1980. I'm not talking about the whole 100 and some years. I'm just talking about the last 45 years. It happened on 3 separate occasions. We came from a willing Arab Toba, someone with vision that had plans for that country. Who we ended up with? Sanado. And he himself ended up making a lot of mistakes that he couldn't realize because, like I said, the cartel is always there to benefit from president like that. Because they knew that with Doe in power, he would be there in name only. The criminal cartel or the political class will be there behind the scene running the show. Okay, you brought Doe. What happened? We went to war. After the war, who we went to? After the war, Charles Taylor. When people were warning or no, this guy, whether you like it or not, he cannot be the one to push this country forward. He will come with a lot of sanctions. People will question the international community. We rely on support. No, he cannot be the one to transform the country. After Charles Taylor, who came with? We went to another war. Come with Madame Salif. You put Madame Salif in power for 12 years to right the wrong. I'm not saying that she was perfect in her leadership. There were some lapses that happened. Matter of fact, with all the lawmakers and all the incentive, matter of fact, she didn't want to institutionalize it. But I am just saying there are a lot of great things that she did also. Now, after Madame Salif, rather than looking for someone to come and build on Madame Salif's legacy to move the country forward, who you ended up with? Oh, George Weah to run a country. Not even a nightclub or a country. Now, You went through that 6 years. You got mad. You removed Georgia. You had an opportunity with other great leaders that were available. You didn't go to them. You can't get out Joseph Boaga. So, like I said, the thing is almost like a self-sabotage. The people themselves, apart from the politician, the Liberian people themselves are not ready for progress. They could care, they don't have interest in that country moving forward. And guess what now? Let's just assume worst case scenario. Joseph Boaga say, okay, I can get this thing going. So who's gonna end away again? Jeremiah Cohn. Can I place a bet on Jeremiah Cohn that he will become a
But
better
yeah,
leader?
because
No, that one almost
because
like a
quote unquote
like a
now,
row of the dice.
yeah, you quote unquote now the lesson that President been talking. I think Jeremiah Cohn also will say according to maybe our own observations and everything. I think Jeremiah Cohn should start preparing because from what
Yeah,
but again, even if anyway, because you know the rescue people they have that say, and for some of us we don't want to come on with and be saying, but that what you said, you said even if we prepare like this, we will still vote for him. So, Mark,
yeah. That's
so,
what they said.
so,
Even your
so we
casket,
know.
they were gonna vote for him. So why you getting mad? I mean, come on. Just go with the flow for the next 6 years.
Yeah, no, brother.
Oh,
I mean,
God.
on a very serious note, Liberia, I think we are backward when it comes to everything. Look, don't allow these small things the people posting here and there, talking about graphs, talking about this, talking about that.
Yeah.
Look,
So
we stay
lies.
back. So last.
The economy grew at 5.1%. We fed the interest rate, the central bank, all this nonsense. Like, are you telling me you can see for yourself? You need to go to school to understand things that you can see with your naked
So,
eye.
Mark,
Someone
let
got
me
to
ask
come
you
and
this question.
bamboozle you.
What they graph for the salaries? No, Liberia. Yeah, Coco says better. What their graph? Ask them for their graph for their own salaries.
Yeah.
Then let them tell you. Then
Yeah.
you will
You're not
know.
ready yet. You ain't ready for business.
So
You are
look, let the
chokers.
people stop fooling some of you
Yeah.
out there that we doing well,
Mhm.
when we took over, they want one of the days, we are look, that's all a scam. Let me be frank. All the things are scam. They do anything to you to
Yeah.
job, watch you. But look, a country that is ready to move forward, you will know. Nobody can go be educating you
Nobody
to
will tell
drive.
you. You go there, you
Nobody
see
can
it.
tell you.
Certain
That's the
move that they
truth.
will make you say, you know what, these people are ready for business. I always told you that, right? I say any country that's ready to make progress, when you go there, you can tell that they're ready to make progress. It's almost like a vision that the entire country will grab. They know every day they are doing something to make them better. You cannot see that happening in our country. Our country is not interested in moving forward. The people over
Only
there, or
Liberia,
and
only
Mabel, I will say
only.
this. Mabel,
Mhm.
I will say this just before you come in. Now,
Yeah, go ahead.
the one that can piss me off about the situation in Liberia. The
Mhm.
folk that you believe that travel, that claim to go to colleges and university, the one that you think that's so low better, yeah, they can't even think. We want to talk about the one I didn't go to school. So that's why I cannot even blame most of the voters in certain instances. Because you call yourself educated, you live in the advanced society, you see what it takes to build a great society in terms of healthcare, education, electricity, technology. And you talking about Joseph Boaga
So,
in this
some of
day
them
and age?
don't
Yeah.
even push me
So
up
what you
because
talking
I want
about?
to talk about Donald Trump. I want to talk about all these things because some of these people they even voted for this government. Come back
Oh
home
yeah.
and enjoy your own government that you even voted for. Why you
Yeah.
afraid of? So that we should stay here. But
Yep.
anyway, I'm not going to. You go to all these things because some of you I know how you think. That's the same thing that Mon just said. You think
Yeah.
like the ordinary person in the bush, in the village, just because somebody is saying this,
Yeah.
so you get angry.
You want your
That's
positive win, you say your country winning.
That's the thing, Monk. And most
Yeah.
of them, even when President Walker went to the US, they were there lining up. Why you not wearing
Yeah.
placards and even inform the president that
Yeah.
even though we come and go into elections, we don't know how it will end. So please talk to the US government for the I know that DD, how you can call it, Monk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Defer, I don't know, DD or TPS and
Uh,
all that stuff.
thank you. Talk to the government so that they can deport us. You all were clapping
Mhm.
for the man. And you see, well, again, that's a life. Then you get angry with people who are saying the truth to you people. Or when you were cutting off speech from your
Yeah.
brothers and sisters yesterday, just because they were not supporting this government. Some of you cut off speech. Oh, okay, anyway. Hold on, man. I will join you. Let me see how better to
Yeah,
set up
after
for
the
you.
yeah, set up. Well, that's it. We got 5 more years to go. It's just the tip of the iceberg. You will see it. You can keep going for your rescue mission all you want. Let's see who will be rescued at the end of the 6 years. That's one thing I know. the reality was set in. But you know, that's the country, and people could care less about the time, their children's future, the state of the economy, the country resources. You know, that's what happened in the country. So people will always benefit from the system. That's why they will see the reality and they will still push for these kind of individuals because for them, they want to win, they want to get jobs. And that's why it's it's about mostly in the case of Liberia, people want to get lucrative job. And the candidate that they believe will give them that opportunity will be the one that they will push, even though it will be at the country's expense, but they could care less. And that's what you see happening in Liberia. So that video was in screenshot me when I saw it yesterday. I was like, you know what? This is what been happening in every aspect of the government. That whole arrest from arrest akin to AAID, CDA, all those nonsense on paper. Like anybody can go into a basement and write a piece of paper and call it policy. It takes a genius. It takes people with the capacity to put ideas into motion and get the result that they want. That's a whole different thing. That's why you call your politician in Liberia. You see some man who come to Burkina Faso in less than 2 years, then he can transform a country and put it on the right path because it's a particular skill set. It's not something you can learn because you've been in government for 50 years. No, that's not how it works. It's a skill. You don't have that. That's why they call them chief executive. People who know exactly what they are doing, who know how to put idea into motion and get results. Not just there because you've been working in government. He spent 40 years in government. Who told you that because he spent 40 years in government, make you to be a leader? Leadership, a certain attribute, certain skill set. That's what make you to be a leader. You're not everybody length of time you spend in government. There got people that have been having job in government. Okay, you've been in government for all these years. I mean, what kind of impact you made? Even though you are in government, you only had a job. Having a job different from being a leader. Leadership is different from job. They are apples to oranges. They're not the same. uh, we're looking for people who can put ideas to work and give the country a result. Yeah. So y'all keep guessing. Y'all keep on the rescue train. Maybe are you there? You set up now? I'm not getting you, Mabel.
No, Mom, hold on a little bit. I will switch on you, please.
Okay. Uh, so go ahead, folks. Keep up with the rescue mission. You will be rescued.
The Liberian Senate has concurred with the House of Representatives on the act to establish the National Tourism Authority, a significant step towards enhancing the country's tourism sector. This decision, according to our Senate reporter, was announced by the House Press Bureau on Tuesday, January 28th, and will allow for the separation of the tourism from the Ministry of Information, Cultural Affairs, and Tourism, thereby ensuring focused oversight and development of the industry. The bill to create the National Tourism Authority aims to promote and drive investments in Liberia's tourism sector for economic growth and was unanimously passed by the House of Representatives in September last year. Maserado County District 17 Representative Bernard Benson, who also chairs the House's Committee on Information, Broadcasting, Culture, and Tourism, introduced the legislation. According to our reporter, the next step involves forwarding the bill to the President of the Republic for signing and formal printing, which will officially establish the National Tourism Authority. An indefinite go-slow action aiming to paralyze operations of the Firestone Rubber Company has been announced to begin this Thursday across the Firestone construction area. The planned go-slow action was announced on Wednesday by NACAU, a national labor movement providing parental leadership for the Firestone Workers Union FAU. In the pronouncement, NACAU Secretary General Marcus Blaman called on the workers of Firestone to stay away from work until their plights are addressed through national government's intervention. According to Marcus Blaman, the indefinite work stoppage became necessary after the Firestone management refused to accept a 7-count demand from the workers' union during the ongoing negotiation. Among other things, the workers' union wants the Firestone management to pay each employee for the years he or she served the company for upon retirement, with each month representing a year. The Movement for Economic Empowerment, or MOVE, has criticized President Joseph Boakai's State of the Nation address, accusing the president of negatively altering Liberia's foreign and external relations in his first year in office. MOVE alleged that the Boakai Kun administration has diverted Liberia's diplomatic ties from Ukraine to Russia, evident by their participation in the 2024 Russia-Africa Summit organized by the Russian Federation. Speaking on Wednesday at a press conference, MOVE Secretary General Jeremiah Pay claimed that President Boakai has compromised Liberia's long-standing stance against human rights violations both domestically and globally, making specific reference to the impasse at the legislative branch of government. Pay also condemned the United Party's administration for endorsing Liberia's 177th Independence Day orator, Robert Pelly, for what he described as an attack on Liberia's oldest ally, the United States of America, during the Independence Day celebration. MOVE has also rejected claims that Liberia's bid for a non-permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council was initiated under President Boakai, stating that the process was launched under former President George Weah on July 9, 2023, in Guinea-Bissau. Meanwhile, Jeremiah Pay has described President Boakai's statement during the annual address concerning the salary increment of civil servants, including health workers, police, and teachers, as misleading. He said there was no increment throughout 2024. Jeremiah Pay stated that the Liberian leader has failed to reverse the harmonization policy as promised during the 2023 presidential and legislative elections. The MOVE Secretary General classified President Boakai as the first Liberian leader to struggle with the rule of law, violating even the constitution of the country. He termed President Boakai's fight against corruption as a mere statement. Instead, his administration is being used to enrich government officials with public funds. You are listening to a bulletin of news from the News and Current Affairs Department here at the Renaissance Communications Incorporated. In more news, a permanent son of Grand Jida County T. Wilson Gay has called on citizens from the county to rally support to President Joseph Boakai in his quest to develop the country. The Deputy Water and Sewer Managing Director for Administration said the election of President Boakai has opened a new landscape for the country to begin the rebuilding process. He noted that in a relatively short time, Liberia has accelerated the pace of its acceptance in the international community, adding all doors once closed to the country because of bad governance are beginning to reopen, signaling the era of national renewal. T. Wilson Gay bragged that dignity of the civil service has been restored with the elimination of ghost names, which saved the country millions of dollars, stating that there has been a decisive war being waged against drug abuse. Development partners have renewed their faith in the government with mind-blowing assistance, such as the recent qualification of Liberia for the Millennium Challenge Corporation compact funding, amongst others. The Water and Sewer Deputy Managing Director declared that the Boakai administration is clearly committed to reform the entire governance architecture so as to make the future better for the Liberian children. Speaking at the induction of the Grand Jude chapter of the Liberia National Students Union, LISU, Wilson Gay noted that while the reform process may have precipitated discomfort in some sectors, the government remains committed to achieving its agenda. Meanwhile, T. Wilson Gay has called on LISU to transition from the era of activism to the dispensation of constructive engagement and struck a strategic partnership with the government. Gay said he will be excited to see the Grand Jude County chapter of LISU leading the process to attract the people into the meaningful partnership so that together they can fast track development in the county. And out of Liberia now, the Democratic Republic of Congo's president, Felix Tshisekedi, is not taking part in regionally brokered talks aimed at ending the rebel assault on the key eastern city of Goma, state media has reported. Kenyan leader William Ruto had invited Tshisekedi and his Rwandan counterpart Paul Kagame to a virtual summit as corpses laid on the streets of Goma following heavy fighting. Neighboring Rwanda is accused of backing the M23 rebel group, which has taken over much of the city, according to including its airport. About 280 Romanian mercenaries who were fighting on the side of DR Congo's army had surrendered to M23, the Rwanda Defense Force said on X. Rwandan government spokeswoman Yolandi Makolo said, or told the BBC that Rwanda would take part in the summit, but did not say whether Kagame will attend. The UN says there is extensive evidence that Rwanda is backing the M23 rebel, but Rwanda denies giving the rebels direct military support. Goma was mostly quiet on Wednesday, with reports of sporadic gunfire in some districts. Residents who had been hiding in safe areas ventured out to buy food that is becoming increasingly scarce following days of fighting. Both the UN and the Southern African Regional Bloc SAC have peacekeepers in Goma, but they fail to halt the rebel assault, according to the BBC. Speaking to BBC News Hour while being locked down in a UN bunker in the city, the deputy head of the UN force, Vivian Van de Peer, said the M23 rebels had established themselves in Goma, but were still facing pockets of resistance. She added that after she held talks with the M23, UN peacekeepers were starting to move around, which was extremely urgent because some of its bases had run out of food and water and are literally sheltering thousands of people, including some government soldiers who had surrendered. To end this news bulletin, a recap of the top stories. Rule of law caucus in the House of Representatives strongly condemns what it calls the unprecedented and violent assault on District 10 Representative Yeke Koliba during Tuesday's section. Liberian Senate concurs with the House of Representatives on the act to establish the National Tourism Authority, a significant step towards enhancing the country's tourism sector. An indefinite go-slow action aiming to paralyze operations of the Firestone Rubber Company has been announced to begin this Thursday across the Firestone concession. And off the home front, DR Congo's President Felix Tshisekedi is not taking part in regionally brokered talks aimed at ending the rebel assault on the key eastern city of Goma, according to state media. That's RCA News Bulletin at 7. My name is Maka Davis.
Renewable energy solutions.
Mr. President, I'm truly sorry. I would just like to remind you that we have to conclude, unfortunately, because we are running out of time. Sorry about that.
That's always the disadvantage of being the last. So we are fully committed. We believe that this.
Mr. President, I'm truly sorry. I would just like to remind you that we have to conclude, unfortunately, because we are running out of time. Sorry about that.
That's always the disadvantage of being the last.
That's the disadvantage of always being last. They may talk about renewable energy. There's regular common standard energy you can't even produce. They talk about renewable energy. In our country, that's a joke. Yeah, good. That's what you get when you bring jokers to power. I'm not insinuating that the president. I just think like the reality, the president just passed his prime, and we in a different dispensation. We're in a different period, and he just not there anymore, physically, cognitively. Yeah, he will just be there in the moment, but he's not the one calling the shot. He's not the one running the show. And so the woman said, "You know what? Let's move on, Papa. We understand." Yeah, move on.
Yeah, Mark.
Yep,
Yeah,
you hear
Mark.
me?
Mark, I'm getting you, sorry, that we were playing a video while you were talking, though. I don't know maybe why you got me, but anyway, go ahead now. We're finished already. We wanted to.
Well, we're done with that. I mean, you know the thing about energy, right? Maybe now I can tell you, I think when you study history, stupid people won't be able to play on your mind. The reason you read every day, it's not because you want to know everything. You just want to insulate yourself from people who think that they can brainwash you, people who believe that they can play on your intelligence. That's why reading or doing research will do for you. Stupid people won't be able to lie to you. Look, Melbourne, the lifeblood of any economy all on the planet is energy. Because to create job, you got to create opportunity, you got to open factories, industrialization, and every business run on energy. It was because of that. Let me give you a little short history. In 1971, right? The system, what they call the Bretton Woods system, it was created after World War II, right? The Bretton Woods, the IMF, the World Bank, they all came after World War II to rebuild Europe. So at the time, they had a system in place wherein all the foreign currencies around the world were tied to the US dollar, but they were all backed by gold. So Richard Nixon look at the whole thing for long and said, but that thing don't make sense. Like America don't have all the gold in the world. If we want to be a superpower, then gold cannot be the reserve currency because we don't have too many in supply in the US. So, but one thing that I know that controls the whole world is energy. So you know what he did? He ended the gold standard. You can go and read about it in 1971 under Richard Nixon. He ended the gold standard and went to something called petrodollar, wherein they peg the US dollar against oil because they know oil is the number one commodity all around the globe. Every war that you see happening today, whether it was Saddam Hussein invading Kuwait, whether it's the Iranian, whether it's Saudi Arabia, why you think it's oil about? Why you think the people from Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger drove the French from taking that uranium and they brought in the Russian for their uranium in terms of energy? Because the people know that no economy around the world can survive without oil. Oil is the engine, or electricity is the engine for an economy. Maybe let me give you a good example. The reason I would love to reference Ghana, right? If you go look at Ghana electricity capacity, the people that live in the cities, in major cities, you know that electricity rate in Ghana, 95%. The people that live in the rural area in Ghana, that live in the interior part of Ghana, do you know how many of them have access to electricity? 74% in rural area. I mean, in the rural area, and in the cities, 95% in electricity rate. Why you think? How can a Joseph Boaga look at a man like me or a man like you and say he want to improve tourism, but electricity is not in the country? So the tourists that torchlight they will be using.
Yeah.
People are coming to visit your country to explore. What they'll be using? What they'll be using? What? Django London?
They will join us in the off and on. They will join us in the same schedule. Look, that's the country. Look, in fact, more you are even talking about World War II or World War II. But my brother, let me go back to also to the grafting and other Japan. I think if you can still recall some of the history, right? They said like GDP and so forth, we were back to back, or even
it was in power with Japan and other countries like South Korea, Japan at the time. But that was in the 50s, though.
Can you imagine? But like people are looking at you gotta be fighting for grants, you gotta be fighting for GDP, you gotta be convincing people. Anyway, but Mark, thank you.
You hear me?
Yeah, I got it.
You hear me? I think you're trying to say something. I want to give you a chance. Let me tell you something.
All right.
That statistic about comparing Liberia GDP. Oh, go ahead. Go.
No, that's the question. So I want you to chip in on that question a little bit before I talk. Quiet.
Which question? Concerning what?
About Liberia GDP, Japan. So no, I just wanted to drop. Maybe you want to say something about that quickly before we move on. Maybe quickly before we start interacting with people.
Those things, they were all historical facts that were analysis done back in the day when people used to compare the GDP of Japan and Liberia at the time. Don't forget, Liberia is a whole country. So in the 20s or in the 30s, country like Japan, let me tell you, the Europe we see today, or the Western world, even the great United States, you know when they came into prominence, it was after World War II, after 1945. Russia was a great empire, and things changed over time. So back in the days, looking at the size of Liberia's economy, you could make the comparison with people like Japan and all that stuff. It was one of the reasons we played that video. I think Steve was on the show that day, when the Ghanaian president said in the 50s, the economy of Singapore and South Korea were almost the same size as Ghana. But what today, they are sitting at the top of the world, and Ghana is still lagging behind. What changed? What happened to Ghana? Because back in the day, when you're making a comparison, most of the countries you see today, they were not that exposed. Look at China today. Half of China used to be restaurant. But within 30 years, they were able to be number 2 to America, even beating countries like Japan and even most of the top economy in Europe, because people make progress. And so that's the truth. Back in the day, people are making comparison between the size of Liberia economy and that of Japan. But look at Japan today. Japan is a first world country. I don't know. I don't think we are even tell what I would say fourth world, because we are way behind. So how can you even make the argument that you are telling me you're going to bring about tourism, but then we're still lacking electricity? They ask you, what are your plans? What kind of idea you got about electricity, talking about World Bank and IMF and Rockefeller Foundation? Are you serious? Is that a plan to rebuild your country? Man.
And in fact, when you even go back to that video, you will listen to the president talking about, we want to say thank to our people who always up. Hey man, Mark, you always be telling people thank you for another thing that you can do. Yeah. Things that you can do for yourself, but just because you choose to waste the money, you choose to make the politicians grab to go way up. Let me just say that way though, so that our common people out there so they understand. They make these politicians that grab, check their GDP way up. But when you, the poor people, always be educating you. You see that one? We're making progress. When we came on, always say, yeah.
I bet you right now, open the line. Even though they are seeing the reality on video, we told them before the election, they're seeing the reality. If this man is telling you that in order to improve our access to electricity, he's counting on other people, then it tells you that everything that he said about his plan, it's not going to work.
No, but no,
that's the reality. But I bet you open the line right now, there will be folks, the one who call it that, they're hoping contingent, we're hoping. Even though they're seeing the reality, but they still believe in something they call hope, they will call here to give excuses. They will just open the line if you want to bet me. I'm not talking again.
Yeah,
you will continue to talk and then open the line.
Mom, before I don't go to the line, let me just say this to you today. According to the rescue agenda, or the AARD, right? According to them, they are saying that
the rescue agenda for inclusive development.
Yeah, I think they're looking for how many, I don't know how many billion. But then they are also hoping on their international partner to bring 70% more. Do you think with that kind of government now that even in power in the US, why Donald Trump now start seizing a lot of things? Look, we gotta be serious in this country. We have to be very, very serious.
They
Just
hand
stop
out
making
now
mongering.
working. Yeah. They hand out their mentality now working.
It will
And
not
that's what
work if
changing
I
the whole
monk.
global dynamic. Yeah. It's now working. People can
Where
keep
in
giving
this?
you money for decades and you can make progress. How can someone be giving you loans since 1800 and you can make progress as a country? When is going to end?
And that's the kind of thing, monk. That's the kind of thing. Every time you must be waiting for other people, but you have the resources. Your minister of land, mass, and energy, he's crying that your resources, your natural resources, is going. Your own Liberians, some of your Liberians company, they are their monk. Can you imagine? You have a country where you have your own Liberian brothers and sisters, or they have quote unquote, they have companies. They go to the villages, they go to the butchers, where those resources are. And these children that even reside in this community or districts or towns, monk, they are not in school. All of the schools there, they are all down, no chairs, nothing. They are not even up to standard, no electricity. But people are getting rich from that little community. People are getting rich from some of the towns. People are getting rich from some of the villages just because that's the system we have. Look, what we are saying to you, our Liberian government, is that this system, all of the cartel that Monjo talk about, look, until Liberia can move forward, we got to put the cartel on our feet. And let me just say this today, because we allow the cartels to be like the infant monk, and the cartel they already succeed because they are also they are in fact they are into so many religious error.
Yeah, religion
So how
by
you going to
always
fight
been
the
like
cartel?
a tool in Liberia. Even the killers that come to power, they always use religion. So why Joseph I can take advantage of it? Why you think everybody since I would say since maybe the last person I never saw preaching in church was Samuel Doe. Maybe Madam Sally was not too religious, but after Madam Sally, why you think everybody always try to weaponize religion? Because they know that how they can get the voters.
Yeah,
why you think they always open church?
yeah, because monk, these cartels that we're always talking about, to fight them will be difficult because if you go to the religious side, they are there. If you come out, monk, monk, I
Power
think
don't
this
concede
country.
easily. People
When you
that
go
taste
into the
power,
media, they are there. Look,
yeah,
the
they are
cartels
there
are everywhere. Let me
everywhere.
tell you, the cartels, they are everywhere, whether you like it or not. And that's just the fact. And the cartels that are getting rich. All they want is things that will benefit them. Not you. Not you, the commoner out there who are struggling. Not you, the real citizen who knew, or maybe your life had to be changed. It's not about you. It's about them. So you will see the cartels in the media. They will insult us. They will say what they want to say. They will say everything. They will be into so many religious error. They are there. But Mark, any last thing quickly before go to the line?
Well, just open the line, bro. Take it from them.
Well, so 077-285-961. That's the number to call this evening to be part of the SKTV show. And I don't know how long are we going to swim into this. Maybe someone will say how long we're going to stay into the wilderness, where every time we come for a change, the change tend to I don't know how to someone will call it. But again, keep a call. Oh, wait, let me see quickly. Sorry, I think the phone. Yeah, sorry, the phone is on. Yes. So I just reactivated the line so you can now call in 077-285-961. See why no calls come. But again, that's the number that to call 077-285-961. We are still swimming into the wilderness. I don't know how long it will take us as people to move from this wilderness. But let me go to the line to interact with our callers. Hello to this caller. Good evening. Yeah, man. There, go ahead. Your name and from where you join us. All right, go ahead, man. You gotta be a little bit loud though because we're not getting it too clear. Hello. Well, I think you have to change your location and join us later on. Today's caller, good evening. I'm okay. Thank God for life. Go ahead. Okay. All right, thank you. We got to restart the country. I don't know, well, maybe we will get, I don't know, new
I don't know
independent.
that restart.
But today's caller, good evening. I will ask more. Maybe how that's going to work out. But go ahead. Hello. Yeah, we okay, man. Dear, go ahead. Yes, indeed, you are live on the Sktv on Truth FM 96.1.
I'm so grateful. Brother Monk, I just want to let you know that you think before I think that nothing good will come out of me, but now SKTV have made me. I've come back to my senses. Like I don't know how I can get to you. Seriously, my name is Ahmed Kaba. Sorry, I didn't call my name. My name is Ahmed Kaba, and I joined you for seminary. I really want to discuss with you. This is something that's very much important.
All right.
How this will happen, please.
All right. So
right.
call the
So we'll get
number
a big one.
0778.
Yep.
You getting me?
Yeah, let me get it down, please.
Yeah, 0778 3396
0778
33
33
9682.
9682.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Today's caller, good evening. This person looked at my brother. How you call him? Yeah, my young man, go ahead. David. Yeah, go ahead, David.
We are sick. 800 finish. Nothing in 800.
No, you just.
So, simple question I will ask. Then he started going to 30 years. Said he left Tanzania. Who cares about that? Who cares when you left? They are asking you about what you have in terms of your power, energy, what plans you have for your country. Then you explaining how Liberia began to become a republic.
So do you think the VP should start getting ready now because of the
I think even the VP getting ready, we are not still prepared because the VP is just like the president.
Oh.
The VP is just like the president. What you can get for your Jeremiah? My brother, this is what I always say to people. If we say that Georgia was not an alternative, we have people that come in here who have spent our time in the corporate world, coming out the connection. If we really thought that Georgia was not an alternative, we can take it to where we could have voted for coming and bring it. But you look at what other men who nobody know in abroad, you store for coming vote as he did to Georgia and give it to that man. Today he made him ambassador to Japan. Who knew Ella Abiton in this place? Who knew him? And Cummings, today you're telling me, say, Cummings got 0.1%. You lying, my brother. You think a day here, they will pay for it. And
well, thank you so much, David K. No time to waste. Today's caller, good evening. Go ahead, Timothy. Thank you so much for joining us from Grand Bassa County. Echo. Give me Jesus. Well, that's it. Though. They ask the senators, or maybe your lawmakers, or the people you have there.
So thank you.
Thank you, my dear brother. Today's caller, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, my brother.
Yeah, go ahead, Chief. Your name and from where you join us.
This is M. Mohammed calling from the Garden of your township.
understand something to know that they have to stand up for their country. Liberia or Liberian, if you think that you will depend on politicians to survive in this country, you are dead dreaming. Because those guys play with the minds of Liberians in society. You understand, but I said he made a statement when she was the president that Liberia education system is a myth. More people took that statement to be a joke, but it's 100% correction. Like, they can hear English, but don't understand it. They will talk wrong things because they are not understanding it. That's the people we are. And that's what politicians can use against us. If you just listen to President Boakai's this gone speech address to the nation, you will see that every promise is in the future. Nothing like he said happening. It is what? Future. Nothing possible happening. Listen to the entire speech and people clapping for that. 2030, 2020 this, 2020 that. What is happening now? Is this the country we have? Where is Liberia? I didn't really know what is happening in this country. I asked them shortly, please stand up for your country. Do what you think you can do for yourself. Do what you think you can do for your country. And stop depending on politicians. That's the fact. If people take care of politics, it's up to them, but that's the reality. Unless Liberians can realize that they have to stand up for their country. The example for Liberians standing for their country is Nimba country. That's why I love them. I'm not from Nimba. I'm from Cape Mount and Bombay. But I love their action. They love themselves. They love their country. They love each other. They love everything they do by themselves. Why can't we freaking love this country the same way? No sense.
There you go. I feel your pain. Sorry,
yeah,
Chief.
I don't know when it was say
Yeah,
love the country and when he said
yeah,
Nimba, I don't know what he's talking
yeah.
about.
I don't know where you try, but I think maybe, but the politicians are the one also too that got to give way for all of us as people. But go ahead to this color. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. I'm Isa Kamara. I join you from District 4 to be precisely community.
Go ahead, Isa.
Yeah, my brother, let me tell you something today. And let me say sorry to the Liberian people because what I'm coming to say, and maybe they may not like it. My brother, let me tell you something. Liberian people, we Liberian, we are not sincere to ourselves. Why I say this? Because we see leaders, people that we see Joe Parker. Joe, we are in power, we see Joe Parker as opportunity. Somebody like been dismissed 2 times in government. We don't know for what reason. Some people say administrative, some people say for corruption. One, people looking at people like Arizona Kunis, looking at people like Tiwa Congo, people with clean character, people with integrity. Liberian people, we see those kind of people in race. They say, okay, let's agree that maybe Joe, we are not doing well. Then you look at it. The qualified candidate, you tell Joe Papa is going there, and let me tell you something.
But
hello.
Yeah, Isa, 30 seconds. I want to ask you this question quickly. Sorry. Monk, they talk about the cartel. Mind you, during campaign time, you see some of the people moving from village to village, bush to bush, city to city, community to community, campaigning, convincing you people, giving you people rights, giving you people food stuff, and do all this kind of thing. So, do you think that it is the cartel that always fooling the people?
Okay, thank you very much. Liberian people are not sincere to ourselves. Let's look at now. People see Joey as authority again. I can tell you for sure today, the only way different politicians in Liberia will survive and tell Joe Parker and Joe Weah is not on the political map again in Liberia. There's the only way. And what I wanted to say, you see, we Liberians can make our representative and senator to be corrupt in a sense like now you will see a representative come from the CDC angle. Now, United Party in power, the man will try to talk. When CDC come to power, let's see his representative will sit and see the wrong. He will not want to talk. Because you see that if he talk against CDC government or maybe United Party in power now, if they talk against United Party government, United Party is now go against it. And seriously, we see them Yaga Kolba is the best politician. Send me a girl on a political landscape. Yaga Kolba is the best politician I ever see. Because any politician I will not be afraid to say I will not be defeated. Your leg, you're not fool me, your leg, you're not fool me. Then meaning I will stay for a court. Let look at Tower Dino, look at Nomri Kanga Lawrence, look at Bosta Singwe, look at Sano Dosine. That people that I was standing and this CDC. But today, see or they made it in the Senate, and I'm speaking. Some people that I was silent. All of people that today, you see them standing there today, they're standing for the country. My brother is sad. The only way Labro can progress, people that come in they walk Congo and Labro are not willing. I can tell you today, the way to the brother saying that job we are people see as authority, where are we going? My brother, you just do your part.
All right, thank you so much to this caller. Good evening. Yeah, go ahead. Hello. All right, keep a calls coming 077-285-961. Please, 1 minute. Let's stick to the time and give other people to the opportunity. Hello to this caller. Good evening. Yeah, my dear. Good evening. Go ahead. Your name and from where you join us.
Systematic on a serious note, and I agree with Mona is a cartel, and every political group or political leaders have that cartel behind them. So for me, I don't really see leader as the problem, but we in Liberia and the people who surrounding our leader are the problem. Now we can say we take it back from there. Bring Kumi. Kumi may be your thing. That he has never done anything wrong and he will never ever do anything wrong. But the people around Kumi will be the same problem.
So hello? Hello, Chief. 30 seconds. The same question will also go back to Monk. So are we the citizens? Are we the cartel against ourselves or what?
Whatsoever wrong or anything to say about you won't say it about negative thing, right? You should always praising them. They still good. When they come to power, they give you only an error, they specify somewhere you go, you still have to get up. When they say for you and your family. And that's how I look at every political leader. Take like that for that, you can break out Congo. You will see men and that party that come in. Because I feel that their own Congo party men in there. Then that party, those are people who will be in the country. They don't have enough good record. If you take me, bring me on board, you will still see people around Kumi. Like next, so I know for me, they are coming out, then I was left Kumi now, they don't use everybody, right? So they were saying it was the best thing, so then now they don't use everybody, who is the fucking or you go, fucking the one you energy, but to see the way we're fucking now. So you see the problem?
Thank you so much. I'll let that question, in fact, that question will also go back to Monk as to we the citizens, are we the cartel? Yeah, to this person, good evening. Yeah, go ahead. So I want to ask you this question. Thank God that you want. And me, I like that, and that's the fact. It's better that when you do wrong, you come and say, "Oh yeah," or maybe when you participate into a certain, you say yes. But I want to ask you this question. Were you convinced by someone, or you were, or maybe you just maybe wake up one morning and say, "Okay, I'm willing to do this." Maybe in the election, this is the person that I choose. Hello. Hello? Wow, his network is bad, but I'm asking you as to whether you are convinced. Yeah, go ahead. All right. So this caller, see, we're not getting him. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, my dear. Good evening. Thank you, AB, for joining us, my dear. Go ahead. No.
that blame you. And we all far from now the judgment. The Bible said the question what they have the Bible, let me tell you the truth, I have the Bible, not understand our question. So he said, any kind of way, all the Bible, the level of no good law will find this country here. Maybe judgment here with Jesus Christ. Thank you, the better by the time you ever come, now you go with people in the whole world, no all of us, whatever player. Every journey is telling us way. John, we are carrying us. We don't do it. Wait, wait. You never know it, wait. So that's the problem with getting you. We just be again. So that empower them and saying research that I want to do. Come on, I'm even for the 20 now. We're going to get my phone and have it go away. It's going to pay for your phone.
All right. Thank you so much. Liberians are feeling frustrated. Today's got a good evening. I'm okay. Thank God. A few more calls, then we'll cross over to Monk so he can respond to all of you. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Is there complaint? Complaint about what? Okay, go ahead. What happened? Hello? Hello? Where are you before you say that dirty water? Because I didn't see anything of such. Yes, now what I say your location, your location, because they're listening though, before they say maybe. Okay, right to the water factory that GSA road, right? Okay, good. Go ahead. Wow. All right. Thank you. Wow. All right. All right. Thank you. I think the team, they are listening and they're going to maybe go into that location. But let me take one or two calls. Then, of course, because I want for Monk to have a little time, because myself, I also want to ask him, or if I do a follow-up question or save or pose another question to him about, so what are we Liberians? Are we the cartel apart from the politicians or what? Well, go ahead. Yes, go ahead, man. There your name and from where you join us. Go ahead, Peter. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Especially the best son. Maybe we support the best son. I will not just support because I want support. But go ahead. What happened to your credit? The person is on your ear? No, I mean, they can call you. They don't sing in your ear. The last caller, hello, good evening. Yeah, my dear, go ahead. Good evening. Where are you, so? My brother, you look so in for your voice is like something, though. Like something going on, though. That's it. Jesus. That's it. That land issue. Thank you. Thank you, my brother. Look, we were there one day and discuss the land business, the land issue about, and he's right, though, because they look, the thing that making him on this hype that gave you all of the rights is land. If you don't have land, you don't have any place to go, and then you'll be jumping in you as you get in the birds. But anyway, Mark, so yes, so we're back after the calls from our people. I think that you listened, and maybe you want to respond to a few of them, or if not, yes. So I don't know what your take. Yeah, Mark, go ahead. We get to you.
You know, maybe every time we come on this show, it's the same old thing. And one of the callers, the one who said he will be encouraging, I told you about that particular group. The group that believe that nothing can come out of Liberia, the group that believe that they had tried all options and nothing changed for the country. You listen to him, he said he will be encouraging more people not to vote because there is no need you vote in the situation in Liberia. And that's why I told you that the cartel, apart from the political cartel, the people themselves, they also operate like a cartel. Because if you get that kind of a mentality that in a country of 5+ million people that you cannot find a better Liberian to manage the country in a better direction, then it means we should all give up. That's exactly what he has said, what he's saying. And I can blame some of them at times, like I said, Lebo, in both ways. Some of the people and the other caller said the same people who are crediting Joseph Boakai are talking about he's not fit to be president. They are the one begging him for job. They come from other political parties. They say he's not competent. So when the average person or our common people, if they make the kind of a decision, how can you be the one to blame them? And you are saying it all over. The people that are milking the system, that are enjoying the system, they wanted to keep it that way. And some of us who want the country to change, the people who are supposed to help us make the country to change, that we have no interest in the process. So it means the cartel will stay there for the very longest. That's why it tells me that they will be there into perpetuity. Nothing going to change. That's what they're literally saying, because the only thing we can do is to go to elections, right? If the vast majority of the voters are telling you that we have tried so many variations, we have tried so many options. Some of the people that we believe that are supposed to have clean hands, are supposed to love this country, if they can do some of the most despicable things they country, then who is there to try again? That's what they are literally saying. That's the scary part. That's my biggest fear.
Yes, because that's the question. In fact, that's the further question I wanted to also ask you about that statement. Because Mark, we around, and you are all of us as people. We all, like you are also talking about even some of our brothers and sisters outside of Liberia who are also out there that are also experience in the band of seven other things. Even when they come down, they also join the other group of people and they also mess things up. So
yes.
So the follow-up question is our people like maybe giving up? So say, okay, you can go ahead now, retire. Anything you want to do, you go ahead and do anything, because why? Even when we change Monk and bring Mayborn part of follower too, will make Mayborn to look bad, or Mayborn will join the other group of people and it will be bad. Is that what they are saying, Monk?
Maybe that's exactly why it is. And that's why I told you about even the folks that travel outside the country. The reason, let me tell you something, if you look at Africa history, you look at all the leaders from Africa or that became president in Africa, I would say more than 85% of them have some kind of a Western education. They spent certain portion of their life in the Western world. Only a few of them never traveled here or went to school here. One of the reasons you came to the Western world is to change your whole narrative, to change the way how you do and see things. You live in a structured society. You live in a society that got rules of law, and when it comes to electricity, running water, great infrastructure, government policy, program. You go to Africa, people look forward to you or look up to you to do something different, right? You go there, you join the same system. Let me give you a typical example. I don't know bosses. Look at the cartel or the people who were pushing that narrative. Isn't Mandela Cooper came from, a part of the American society? And she came from here?
Okay.
Look at the Yellow Machine saga, right? Look at the scheme that they brought to Labrador, they call on Neotech. I know Tech about scholarship program. Those people that live in this country that are supposed to know better. when you listen and when you watch how they think and how they analyze things, like it can just make you weak. That's where you will get a clear indication that the country is not going anywhere. Because it's one thing, let me tell you something, when you can go to all the college and university, traveling is going to give you a whole different experience. It's going to make you to see the world from a whole different lens. So traveling is major when it comes to your life, when it comes to decision making and making choices in life, because it changes your perspective. You're almost like you grew up swimming in a pool and somebody put you in an ocean. That's what traveling will make you see how other people, other culture, how they are making progress, other countries. That's why sometimes when talking this show, we reference certain country in Africa, like whether that's Ghana, Botswana, Lesotho, or Rwanda, countries that are doing better. Because these leaders, they adapt a country that, you know what, if there are other parts in the world, whether it's America, whether it's in Europe or Australia that are doing better, we can duplicate the good things from over there and bring it here to better our people. But if the people that are supposed to know better are doing the complete opposite, then how can you expect me for a kid in Bokonjele or from how they call it town, Bolowe town to do better? How? And that's the frustration coming from our people. They be like, okay, yeah, you can blame all you want. We can blame a politician partially, but at the end of the day, the very people that are supposed to know better, they make women. They will create that condition, like I said, because they always want their personal interest and they want to protect the system. They make it win. Remember, if you went to a village, let's say you in studio, you part of the media, right? And you went to a village in Granger, maybe your great grandparent hometown, and all the kids, oh man, yeah, they try to learn something from you, and you went and you told them, say, oh, tell one Gongo is not care about when he learns something like bro. Then why would you get mad when they go Joseph Walker? Because you see, people that are not exposed and people that are not that well educated, I mean, I would say school in terms of formal education, they look up to people who claim to know something so that they can mimic after them, that they can follow their footsteps. But if you're an educated person, you claim to live in the Western world, you saw light, and you went to library and said, oh, man, Simon Freeman, Cummings, or Clarence Modiba, they ain't stand no chance. Then you want me to get mad when the 21-year-old go and catch a ballot for Georgia or Joseph Walker? I won't get mad with them. No, I won't.
And more quickly, even to this question quickly, more, we haven't seen any of them. Let me frank. Maybe we'll take one of these days and discuss the political party of Liberia or the opposition, the quote unquote opposition. We haven't seen any of them. Nobody talking. Everybody remain mute. They are just, and sometimes these things come about with all of these things. You are saying that you want to serve your people, but then you are always beyond the same. You are always acting like, in fact, you only want to be skimming. Look, Mom, this skimming thing is too much. For me, I don't know. But I know where my brother got to go.
That's why I keep telling you, baby, you don't want to send mixed messages in politics. You either take a side. Because it's like you keep confusing the same people. The people who claim to be the opposition, 1 minute you are protecting the other side because of your party, and the other minute you're on the other side. How do you think the average person is going to respond to your action? How?
I like that.
You cannot even tell the differences as to what you stand up because you cannot even differentiate yourself from the pack. 1 minute you say that man is incompetent, and another day you begin that man for a job. 1 minute you tell the other man that man is illegitimate speaker, and another day you say the other is gavel.
Mark, will tell you something before we go, Mark. Then you join a person who like you criticize maybe in the first round and say that this person not qualified, they can do nothing. You join in the runoff to support them just because you want job. But then the person gave you job, you remain mute. Look, this country for me, I don't know now, but anyway, that's it, my brother. Good night. We gotta go.
I'll see you on the weekend because tomorrow I got a schedule. I got a dental appointment for my picking, so by 11 o'clock. So when you see me tomorrow, then know that I won't be here tomorrow.
All right, thank you, my dear brother. Somebody asking me, I tell you, share. So what you want for the opposition to do? They gotta talk, and I want to talk.
Nobody call it opposition. That's what they did to keep the ruling party in check. What are you talking about?
What kind of question are you asking me? I don't know. You know what you're talking about, my brother? Major opposition. You gotta talk. That's your work. But anyway, Mark, good night, my brother.
Man, take care, brother.
Yeah, thank you so much. So, folks, good night. Many thanks to all of you for your listening role. And those of you that also follow us on the TV live, thank you so much. We'll catch you when we catch you, and that will be on tomorrow by the grace of the Almighty God. Good night. I'm John Seme Bankula.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcasts and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Qualified people who waiting to serve. The blessing that time and the effort are rest. The brothers giving us here and the parents of them. So welcome my life with African.
I lyrical health.
Master.
Clay Paris, who make you, I can't ask you to be menu. Say my journey, Tina can I say my jamo. And yes, I know money, and more I know. And you love
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
And I dine ya to money, and I salia ya to money, and I connectly ya to money, and I could ya to money, and I dine ya to money, and I salia ya to money, and I connectly ya to money, and I could ya to money, and I forget na ya to money. That's the TV, and I forget it now. So she walk on my ya to money. Yeah.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lopa and grandbaza.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcasts and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Qualified people who waiting to serve. The blessing that time and the efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving are real and the promise my best. To work with my life with Africa. From Grandfather Nima to Lufa, from Riverside, River G to Chile, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Kidman, Montserrat, Sano to Backwalu, from Maryland, Bonkan to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.